more important from your side, you have to do a lot of problems, various sources. We will also provide you a lot of problems and solutions. However, I strongly suggest you to do a number of problems. And if any doubts, you can freely contact your tutor. There is no issue. Okay. We have to be very thankful in asking the doubts, clearing your problems. Okay, that will be. We highly appreciate your doubts, clarification, any help from our side that we are ready to give you. Our all faculty is experienced, so no need to worry. Okay, thank you. Now I would like to invite Abel sir for today's session.
Thank you, Rashid.
Yeah,
Okay. So, hello. Yeah. Okay. Hi. Hello. Good morning to all. So, let me share the screen now. Yeah. Yeah. So, I'll be taking the topic mathematical methods. So, right. Okay. Good morning to all. Right. Okay. So, uh, first, let me introduce to you myself. My name is Abel. So, uh, I'll be taking mathematical methods here. Uh, my method will be basically based upon problems and concept and problems or problems oriented. So I'll discuss one concept and there will be more problems which you will expect, and more of them will be related to the entrance exams which you will face in the QCET as well as QCET exams and entrance exams. So we have collected all the problems. So there will be a problem oriented class mostly. So concepts will be cleared, and after that there will be problems in the class. There will be workout problems also, which you will get the sheet for this workout problem.
Abel sir, any we could not hear your sound. Are you talking anything? Hello. Hello, Abel sir. Yeah, please wait. He will rejoin shortly. Yes, I informed sir. Actually, unfortunately, he has some connectivity issue. He is
Hello,
rejoining.
am I audible?
Yes, yes, yes,
I don't know what
completely.
happened. Sorry.
Okay, no issue. Fine.
Okay, okay. So, uh, okay. So there is a
Uh,
okay.
Screen is not shared.
Yes, one.
Abel sir, please
Yeah,
share your screen.
1 second. I'm sharing.
Okay.
Okay. So yeah, is it visible? Hello. Okay. Right. Okay. So okay.
Yes, fine.
So
Now it's okay.
yeah. So if there is any mistake in the connect, any loss in the connectivity and all, just mention. Okay. Right. Okay. So so I'll be giving a general introduction about vector. So I'm taking vector calculus. So I'll be giving a general introduction about vectors. Then I'll move on to vector algebra, where we can will do vector addition, dot product, cross product, etc. Vector algebra, and then we'll discuss about vector differentiation, then vector integration. So these are the topic that we'll cover in vector calculus. So generally there will be problems regarding that. So we have vector differentiation and vector integration. So in vector differentiation, we'll cover about del operators and divergence, curl of a vector function and all. So in vector integration, uh, we'll basically study about the divergence theorem, Gauss divergence theorem, line integral, surface integral, Green's theorem, Stokes theorem, etc. So these are the general idea about vector calculus, which I'll be going to take today. Right. So let's move on. Right. Okay. So as a general introduction, you know about the definition of a vector. Vector is a quantity having both magnitude as well as direction. So um, it's a general introduction of a vector. It's a quantity having magnitude and direction. Apart from this, there is another important feature also, which is having for vectors. So it should obey the vector addition. So law of vector addition should obey law of vector addition. So this is an important thing. So normally we will say about vectors as a quantity having both magnitude as well as direction, and it should also obey the law of vector addition. So what is the law of vector addition? From that, there is an example. If you have current as a physical quantity, current is having a magnitude as well as direction. So, but we can say that current is not a vector quantity, since it is not obeying the law of vector addition. So if you have a junction here, a particular junction, so there are two currents if you are coinciding into this junction, and two currents are going outward of the junction. So this, you know the rules of addition of current. We have, if this is I1, if this is I2, I3, I4. You know the rule. I1 plus I2 is equal to, should be equal to I3 plus I4. There's a junction rule. Okay, so this particular rule doesn't apply for vector addition. Okay, so vector addition, law of vector addition means what? If you have two vectors like this, we have two vectors like this. We have an A vector like this, a B vector like this, and the third vector will be a vector which is pointing like this from A to B. So we have the C vector like this, and the rule of vector addition will be like this: A plus C. So if you had these two vectors, the other vector will be in a direction opposite to that of this vector. So if you are adding these two vectors, for example, if you have a vector like this, A, another vector like this, another vector like this, which is B, and the third vector will be like this. This is C. So this is what? This is A, vector A plus vector B is equal to vector C. Here, A plus C is equal to vector B. So this is the rule of, this is said to be the law of vector addition. Okay, so this is a vector law of addition. This every vector should obey the vector law of addition. And next we have different types of vectors. So what are the types of vector that we have? Types of vectors. So what are the types of vectors? So first important type is that said to be equal vectors. Equal vectors. So what is equal vector? What is an equal vector? So it should be having the same direction. It should be pointing around the same direction. And it should be having equal magnitude. Equal magnitude. Right. Okay. So second one. Second one is a null vector. Second one is a null vector. So what is a null vector? So null vector should be having, it can be of any arbitrary direction. So any arbitrary direction, and it should be having zero magnitude. So zero magnitude and any pointing along any arbitrary direction, this is said to be a null vector. Okay, so next one is a unit vector. What is a unit vector? This is a very important thing. What is a unit vector? Unit vector can be represented like this: A cap, okay, which is equal to vector A divided by modulus of vector A. So this is the definition of a unit vector. Okay, so for example, if you have the Cartesian coordinate system, you might have studied about Cartesian coordinate system. Right. Okay. One second. Right. So if you have a coordinate system like this, okay, this is X, this is Y, and this is Z. This is a three-dimensional coordinate system. You know that. Okay. So if you want to represent a vector, a point like this, say it is a point P. See, say it is a point P. So if you have a vector pointing like this, we must say that there are there is a dependence of X, Y as well as Z axis. Okay, so this vector can be represented like this. So if there is a vector in, say, vector P, we can say that in Cartesian coordinate system, which is a three-dimensional coordinate system, obviously, there are three components to this P vectors. P vector. Okay. So P is a vector pointing along a direction like this. So we can say that this is a P vector. There is a point in three-dimensional space. How will you represent a point in three-dimensional space using vector notation? So there will be components along x-axis, which is represented as I cap, plus there will be components along y-axis, which is represented as j cap, and there will be components along z-axis, which is represented as k cap. So these I, j, k are said to be unit vectors along x direction, y direction, as well as z direction. So there will be a component, that is, for example, let's take it as px. So this is a component of, this can be said as this is a component of p vector along x-axis, that is said to be px, and there is a component along y-axis, component of p vector along y-axis, that is said to be py, and pz is the component of p along z-axis. So this constitute a three-dimensional representation of a vector. Okay, so in Cartesian coordinate system. So similarly, we can represent, depending upon the change of coordinate systems, we can represent it by different three-dimensional vector notations. Like if you are moving into polar coordinate system, there will be r and theta, and that unit vector will be r cap and theta cap. And we have cylindrical and spherical polar coordinate system, etc. So depending upon the various coordinate systems, that I cap, j cap, k cap will be changing to r theta phi, rho phi z, and etc. and etc. So which we will be discussing later on. Right. So just remember that I, j, k are the unit vectors along x, y, z directions in a Cartesian coordinate system. Right. Now, next important point is that we resolve vectors. So there is a resolution of vectors. So we can say that we'll discuss the topic about orthogonal resolution. Orthogonal resolution of vectors. Right. So how will you resolve a vector? For example, if you have a coordinate system like this is a two-dimensional coordinate system. So if you have a point like this and we are drawing a vector like this, okay. So this is a vector p, right? So this is x-axis, this is y-axis. So how will you resolve this p along x-axis as well as y-axis? It is said to be projection also. So this is also called as projection. So how will you resolve this project? How will you project this vector along x-axis? Just you need to resolve means that we need to understand the component of this vector. We don't know this components right now. So this is an arbitrary direction. So we must know which direction it points. Also, which direction constitute this vector. Okay. So we just need to understand the component of this vector along x-axis as well as along y-axis. How will you do? So just do a projection. So projection means that project this vector along this direction and project this vector along this direction. So just imagine that if you are giving, or if you are blowing a torch from this side. So if you are blowing a torch from this side, there is a light coming from this side. What will be the shadow? So where will be the shadow? See, if you have this vector like this, so if you are pointing the light from top, the shadow will be on the base. Okay, so this vector will be on the base. So this is the component. Okay, this is a component of p vector along x direction. And how will you understand? How will you know the component? How will you calculate the component? So if you have a triangle here, if you have this angle as theta, then this resolution will be, this is an adjacent angle, so this will be a cos theta. So this will be p cos theta, right? And if you are blowing torch from this side, so the projection will be the projection of this vector will be along this axis, right? So this will be the opposite side, and that will be p sin theta. Right. Okay, right. Okay, so so these are the resolution of p vector along x-axis as well as y-axis. So similarly, in three-dimensional coordinates, we'll will just continue this along 3 dimensions. This is a 2-dimensional system. Okay, it's a 2-dimensional Cartesian coordinate system, and when we are directing towards the 3-dimensional coordinate system, so if you have a vector A, we can say that the component will be, say, suppose it will be ax I cap plus ay j cap plus az k cap. So this ax is the projection. Actually, ax will be the projection of a vector along I direction or x axis, that is I cap direction, and this will be the projection of a vector along y direction, or you can say that a component, and z will be, this will be, az will be the component of a vector along z direction or the projection. Okay, now this I j k, this is important, I comma j comma k are unit vectors as well as these are unit vectors, and they are orthogonal. Orthogonal means what? Orthogonal vectors means what? So orthogonal vectors means the angle between I and j, the angle between any of the two vectors, if it is 90 degree, then that two vectors are said to be orthogonal to each other. So I, j, k are mutually perpendicular vectors. These are mutually perpendicular. Okay, mutually, sorry, this is parallel. Mutually perpendicular. Okay, so mutually perpendicular vectors means they are, this is a similar meaning. Okay, orthogonal vectors and mutually perpendicular vectors are having similar meaning. So if you are taking angle between I, j, k, this will be 90 degree. So right. Okay, so so these are the concept of orthogonal, so resolution of vectors. So this is how will you resolve the vectors, right? Okay, now now the important thing is direction cosine. So these are simple ideas regarding the vector calculus, which will be important to the examination point of view. So direction cosines. Okay, so let's take it as let's say a cap, that is a unit vector, which we have denoted earlier, vector A divided by modulus of vector A, right? So modulus of vector A, and that will be equal to, so what is our vector? Ax I cap plus ay j cap plus az k cap divided by modulus of vector A, right? Okay, so what is the modulus of vector A? We have, for example, if you have ax, if you are taking modulus, that will be equal to root of ax square plus ay square plus az square. These ideas you know about. These are basic ideas. Okay, now, so if you are resolving components, since for example, if you have like this, so let me draw like this. Okay, so we have this is, so this is ax, suppose this is ax, and this is the a vector that we have, and so if you're taking the component of ax, that will be equal to a cos, yeah, a vector a into cos, let's say this angle is alpha. So let's say if you have 3-dimensional plane, let's say the angle will be alpha, beta and gamma, suppose. Okay, so ax, you can say that modulus of a into cos alpha, and similarly ay, we can say that modulus of a into cos beta, and az, you can say that modulus of a into cos gamma. There are 3 angles. So these angles are said to be direction cosine. So we are taking it generally. We are not taking it as, for example, I, j, k like that. So we are taking it as generally. So just like that, this a cap, this unit vector can be represented as this ax by a is said to be cos alpha, right? It will be cos alpha into I cap plus this is a general direction, cos beta into j cap plus cos gamma into k cap, right? So this cos alpha, let's say it is L, okay, L I cap plus M j cap plus N k cap. Just notate, okay. Just notate cos alpha as L, cos beta as M, cos gamma as N. These L, M, N are said to be the direction cosines. Okay. So what will be modulus of this unit vector? Root of L square plus M square plus N square. Okay. Then this modulus of unit vector will be what? This will be what? This will be, yeah, this will be equal to modulus of unit vector will be what? Always modulus of unit vector will be always 1. Okay, so we have for example, if you have L square plus M square plus N square, modulus of N square plus N square plus N square is equal to 1, means that so okay, let's square this thing. Okay, this will be equal to what? Modulus of unit vector, that will be equal to 1. Okay, now if you square this one, we have L square plus M square plus N square is equal to 1, right? So what is L square plus M square plus N square? That will be equal to cos square alpha plus cos square beta plus cos square gamma is equal to 1. So this is a general idea. The square of the direction cosines, cos square alpha plus cos square beta plus cos square gamma is equal to 1. So this is a very important idea about direction cosines. Okay, please understand this. So this is about cos square alpha plus cos square beta plus cos square gamma is equal to 1 is about is a rule of general direction cosines. Now, so let me move on to the vector algebra, more about vector algebra. So we have vector products. Okay. So talking about vector product, we have if you are adding or if you are multiplying two vectors, so there are two results. Okay, so multiplication of two vectors, so this can be results in two different results. Okay, so how will you multiply two vectors? So that is regarding two different form of multiplication of two vectors. So we can multiply two ways. Okay, we can multiply two vectors in two different ways. So it's said to be dot product and cross product. So two vectors can be multiplied into two different forms. Okay, so this is actually said to be scalar product. This is also said to be scalar product, and this is called a vector product. So from the meaning itself, from the word itself, you will get the meaning. So if you multiply two vectors as in dot product, you'll get a scalar quantity. And if you multiply two vectors in the form of cross product or vector product, you will get a vector. Okay. So this dot product is represented as, if you have two vectors A and B, this is represented as A dot B. So this is dot product. Dot product. Right. So this is dot product. So A dot B is what? Is said to be modulus of A into modulus of B into cos of the angle between A and B. So this is the form of dot product of two vectors A and B. Right. Okay. So For example, if you have, if you might have studied about work done in physics. Okay, work done is said to be F dot ds. Okay, or that is force into displacement. Okay, F dot ds. So this is an example of dot product. So there are various examples of dot product in physics you can get. Now, let's say some properties. Let's see some properties of dot product. Let's see first property. Dot product is commutative. Dot product is commutative. What is commutative? If A plus B is said to be B plus A, then we can say that the addition, that operation is commutative, because we are referring to the operation. Okay, so that operation is addition. Okay, so just like you can say that two real numbers, if you take two real numbers, that addition is an operation which is commutative. Just like that, dot product is commutative, so we can represent it as A dot B is equal to B dot A. We can represent like this. Okay, so this is as am I audible?
Yes.
Okay, right. So I'm getting messages, but I don't know how to check while doing this class, so that's why I'm getting confused. Right. Okay. So if there is anything, any disturbance, just mention. Okay. Otherwise, I don't know.
Sure, Abel sir. And one more thing,
Yeah.
if anybody has any doubt, they can
Yeah.
switch on their mic and ask. That is better, I think, because messages cannot be seen.
Yeah, messages and raise hand also cannot be seen. That's why.
Yeah.
The
So
blank
please, if
board
any
here.
doubt, you can switch on your mic and you can ask.
Right.
Okay, Abel sir.
Yeah. The second property, you can say that. So we have the second property. If, for example, if A vector and B, we are discussing about vectors, right? So if A vector is perpendicular to B vector, what is the idea? So if both vectors are perpendicular to each other, then we can say that the dot product will be 0, right? A dot B is equal to what? That is equal to, you can say that modulus of A into modulus of B into cos of the angle between A and B. That angle between A and B is 90 degree. Okay, so the angle between A and B is 90 degree, means that the cos of the angle, okay, cos of the angle, cos 90 is what? Cos 90 is what? 0. So cos 90 is 0. So that A dot B is equal to 0. For orthogonal vectors, so which I have mentioned earlier, the orthogonal vectors also have the same meaning. If two vectors are orthogonal, it means that vectors are perpendicular to each other. That means that the angle between those two vectors are 90 degree and the dot product will be 0. Right. So if you have any questions like to check for orthogonality of two vectors, just check their dot product. If that dot product is 0, then obviously that two vectors will be orthogonal to each other. Right. Now, the next idea is a very important idea. Projection of B on A. Projection. Okay. Projection of, so for example, if you have two vectors, A and B, two vectors. So the projection of B vector on A vector. Okay, so this can be say that this can be say that it is, so I have explained earlier. So how will you get the projection? So if you have two vectors, so if you have this projection like this, then this will be downward. Okay, so if this angle is theta, the projection will be the cos of this angle, right here, right? So the projection of B on A is simply you want to find the projection of B on A, simply find B dot A. Okay, or we can say that B into A into cos theta, right? Okay, so this is actually for ijk and all. If you have any two different vectors, say,
Sir,
yes,
can you just repeat what you said?
yeah. If you want to find the projection of two vectors, so for example, if you have A vector and if you have B vector, okay, so say I'm taking it as randomly, so this is not 90 degrees, so I'm taking it as randomly. Let's say vector is like this, a B vector is like this, and we have some random direction. For example, A vector is like this. How will you find the projection of this vector along this direction? Okay, just simply do this thing. Just uh, imagine a torch, imagine a light which is blowing from top of this A vector. What happens? What happens? This A vector shadow will be like this. Okay, so this A vector shadow will be like this. So this is the projection of this vector along B vector. So if there is an angle theta here, what is the definition? It will be cos theta, right? This A cos theta will be the projection. Okay, A cos theta will be the projection. So cos theta is what? Cos theta is regarding dot product. So if you want to find the projection of any vector on any other vector, just make sure that you are making the dot product. Okay, so if you're finding the dot product, you will get the projection of this vector along this direction, right?
According to what you explained right now, it is projection of A on B, right?
Yeah, projection of A vector on B direction.
Okay, sir.
So here it is B on A. Okay, right. And also we can, if you have vectors, projection of, if you are taking projection of A vector on B vector, just simply say that A dot B. This is A dot B, right? Okay. So next one is, so in the three dimension, you can say that if you have, if you have in 3 dimension, we have, say, A vector is what in 3 dimension? Ax I cap. Let's say that like this: Ay j cap plus Az k cap. Remember that these are all components of A vector along I direction, sorry, along X direction, Y direction, as well as Z direction. Now, this A X is what? Is simply the projection. As I said earlier, projection of A vector along which direction? X axis. Simply like this. This is a projection of A vector along X axis. So Ax can be said as, Ax can be written as A modulus of A cos alpha. Okay, if that angle is not, so if there is an arbitrary vector, an arbitrary direction and all, we can say that Ax is equal to A cos alpha, right? Now, let's do one problem, then we'll understand more. So, a question. Okay, so I have done this. Actually, I have given this as a sheet. So those who got the sheet, just look for that. There's a question only. So that, let me just repeat that question for once. If you have a vector A is equal to, say, random, you can take one, yeah, I plus 2j plus 3k. This I think I have given in the sheet. Okay, so now we need to find the projection. Find the projection of A vector along n cap, and this n cap is given as, n cap is equal to what? Is equal to 3i plus 4j plus 5k. I think this given. Now, what is the idea? So if you're doing it as A on n cap, how will you do? Projection of A on n cap means simply A dot n cap. This is the projection of a vector on n cap. Okay, so before that n cap is what? Is equal to 3i plus 4j plus 5k. We need to yeah, this is n vector only. Sorry, this is n vector as it is given. Now we need to find the unit vector. Okay, unit vector along this direction. So we just need to find the unit vector. Then this is what? This is a on n cap. It is asking. So what is the answer? It will be. So if it is n vector, then n cap will be what? So yeah, sorry. This is okay. Find the projection of a on n cap. Okay, right. The projection of a on n cap, and we have given this n vector. Okay, so just find the n cap vector. What is the n cap vector? It is 3i plus 4j plus 5k divided by root of this one. Okay, that is a modulus of n. So that will be 3 square plus 4 square plus 5 square. Right. So that will be what? 9 plus 16 plus 25. That will be, yeah, and that will be 1 by 5 root 2, right? Into 3i plus 4j plus 5k, right? So everybody got this answer? And what is the projection of a vector along n cap? It will be 1 by 5 root 2, can take in outside, into what is a vector? ijk, that is I plus 2j plus 3k dot 3i plus 4j plus 5k. Then 1 by 5 root 2 into 3 plus 12, 3, 8 plus 15, and that will be 26, right? So 26 by 5 root 2 is the answer. Okay, this is what? Yeah.
One doubt.
Yes. Tell me.
The projection of A on B means A cos
Yeah.
theta, right?
A cos theta, right? Yes, yes.
Projection of A on B means A dot B by magnitude of B.
And what was the doubt?
The projection of A along n cap nu parayumbo
Yes.
adu A dot n cap divided by modulus of n cap ennalle varunde.
A dot n cap by modulus of n cap aanu. Means n
Sir,
cap
cap
means what?
alla sir vector.
Okay, here. ഇവിടെ
Sir എഴുതിയിരുന്ന correct അവിടെ n cap തന്നെ വരിക.
Okay, so what was the question? What was the question? I didn't understand the question actually. Oh, okay. Right. So if there is any doubt, just I'll after this class I'll explain. If you can ask personally, I'll explain. Okay, right. I hope there is no doubt regarding this thing. So fine, yeah. Maybe if you're looking for the yeah, for the answer of this thing. So a modulus of a cos alpha, which I said, this modulus of a is what? Just I'm saying that for an arbitrary direction, I am saying. So if you are two vectors, so there is this thing. If you have perpendicular direction, so if you have this thing, this angle will be 90 degree. If you have perpendicular vectors, this angle will be 90 degree. Okay, so if you are any arbitrary direction vectors, then that will be like this. Ax will be the projection. Okay, ax will be the projection of this a vector along x-axis. So that will be the cos of that angle. If you are projecting this two, if this vector is along an arbitrary direction, if you have this vector, just you need to project this along this vector. So this means that angle is theta, and this will be the cos component. That only I said about it. Right, projection. Okay, so projection is always the cos of the angle. Okay, right. Okay, now now the general okay. Now we have general notations of sorry general notations of I, j, k. So we have I, comma j, comma k are unit vectors, as I said earlier. Unit vectors is actually vectors having unit magnitude. Okay, and if you have I dot j, these are the operations of unit vectors. I dot j is equal to j dot k is equal to k dot I. This is actually 0 because the angle between I, j, k. See, these I, j, k are orthogonal vectors, orthogonal unit vectors. So orthogonal vectors having unit magnitude. These are I, j, k, which represents the direction of x, y, z axis in Cartesian coordinate system. And also we have the operations I dot I is equal to j dot j is equal to k dot k. R is equal to 1. Okay, because the angle between these two vectors will be 0, and cos 0 will be 1, and the magnitude will be 1. So that's why it is 1. Okay, this modulus of I into cos of the angle between I and I. Okay, that is 0. So 1 into cos 0 equal to 1. Right. So these are the general operations of unit vectors I, j, and k. Now we'll move on to the next set, that is vector product. So we have sorry one second. Okay, we have vector product. So we have discussed dot product. Now we are going to discuss cross product. Okay, it is also said as cross product. Right. So what is a cross product? If you are discussing two vectors A and B, this is written as A cross B, and that is equal to modulus of A into modulus of B into sine theta, sine of the angle between A and B, and there is a n cap. N cap means the direction of that two vectors. Okay, right. So here n is what? N is a unit vector. Unit vector normal to the plane containing A and B. So we are discussing about two vectors. So there will be a plane obviously, and unit vector perpendicular. Okay, unit vector perpendicular to or normal, said to be normal to the plane containing A vector and B vector. So that means that if you have two vectors like this, see, if you have two vectors like this, if you have A vector like this, if you have B vector like this, and if we have an angle between this as theta, and if you are saying A cross B is nothing but if you have a screw, if you have a right hand screw, and if you rotate from A to B, this is the meaning of A cross B. Okay, so if you have a screw like this, and if you are rotating from A to B, right, if you are rotating that screw from A to B, which direction it will move? Which direction it will move? It will move upward direction, right? So this is the normal. Okay, this is the direction. Okay, So this is the plane containing vector A and vector B. And if you have a surface like this, if you have a plane like this, and if there is a normal perpendicular to, sorry, if there is a vector perpendicular to the plane or normal to the plane, normal to this plane, and that is actually called as n cap. Okay, so n cap is the direction where this A cross B points. Okay, so if you have two vectors A cross B, if you want to find the direction of that vector, so obviously if you are finding A cross B, you will get another vector. Okay, so say if it is A cross B is equal to C vector, another vector, what will be the direction of C vector? What will be the direction? What will be the direction of C vector? It will be normal to the plane containing A and B, like this. So if you have a plane like this, or if you have a surface like this, what will be the normal to the surface? This is the direction of A cross B. Okay, so let's say if you have A vector like this and B vector like this. This is A vector, this is B vector. Okay, so if you want to find A cross B, just make sure that if you put the screw in the right location. So from A to B, if you have a screw like this, from A to B, if you rotate, which direction it will go? If you rotate from A to B, it will go inward, right? Because we have a right hand screw rule. So this plane, this is a plane. So normal to this plane will go like this, right? So in every plane, if whether it is in this direction, that normal will be like this. Whether it is an inclined plane like this, if you have inclined plane, the normal will be like this. Okay, so whichever direction, whichever be the plane, the normal will be always, or the vector will be A cross B will be always perpendicular to the plane containing A and B. I hope you understood this concept. Okay, so whenever if you are asked to find the direction of A cross B, it will be normal. It will be the normal, the direction of the normal or direction of the vector perpendicular to the plane containing A and B. Right. Okay, some of the examples of cross product are torque as well as angular momentum, which you study in physics. Mainly you have studied torque is equal to R cross F. L linear momentum, sorry, angular momentum is R cross linear momentum, R cross free, etc. So these are the examples of cross product, right? And cross product is the property of cross product. Cross product is an anti-commuting operator relation. It is anti-commuting, and A cross B is never equal to B cross A. A cross B is equal to, in fact, it is equal to minus B cross A. Right? It is anti-commuting, or it can say, we can say that it is, does not commute. Right? So this is the idea. Now, second point is, if A cross B is equal to 0, A cross B is equal to 0 means what? Then we can say that A and B, A vector and B vector are collinear, or these are collinear vectors. Okay, these are parallel or anti-parallel vectors. So to be parallel or anti-parallel. This means that if parallel it is cos, it is sine 0. Anti-parallel means it is 180. It will be the opposite. Okay, right. Now, this A cross B can be written as, what is A cross B? A cross B can be written as, yeah, modulus of, we have seen that, modulus of A into modulus of B into sine of the angle between A and B, and there is an n cap. Okay, so this parallel means what? It is 0. Sine theta is equal to 0. Sine theta is equal to 0 means theta is equal to 0. So this is the idea. Okay. Okay. Now the Next property, now we have properties of I, J, K. We have the cyclic rule of I, J, K. We have I, J, and K. There is a cyclic rule. You might have studied about the cyclic rule. So there is a cyclic rule following I cross J is equal to K. And if you're if you are changing this J cross I is equal to minus K. This is a cyclic rule. Okay. Okay. Now, up to this, I hope everybody understood. These are the basic ideas. Okay. Now, one more thing. If you are to find A cross B, if you want to find A cross B, there is another relation, A cross B. For example, if A is equal to, say it is AX I cap plus AY J cap plus AZ K cap, and B, we can say that if it is Bx I cap plus By J cap plus Bz K cap. Okay, then we have A cross B is equal to what? This is the determinant of IJK AX AY AZ Bx By Bz. Okay. So this way we'll do the cross product calculation. Okay. Now let's do another problem. Okay. So let's do another problem. So for vector A, find modulus of A cross I cap mod square plus A cross J cap mod square plus A cross K cap mod square. Just try to do this thing. Okay, so if you have pen and paper, just try to do this thing. This is a very simple thing. How will you find this thing? A cross I cap. What is A cross I cap? A vector is just simply, you can write like this. Say this AX I cap plus AY J cap plus AZ K cap. Okay. Right. Then what will be A cross I? A cross I cap. Just try to do it. Okay. What will be the answer? Yeah. Anybody? Or one more question, let me write. One more question, let me write. Okay, I'll write one more question. Just try to do it. Okay. And given A vector is equal to 3i minus 2j plus k, and B vector is equal to I minus 3j plus 5k, and C vector is equal to 2i plus j minus 4k. And the options are, we have A comma B comma C are sides of, first one is isosceles triangle. I hope this question you got. Isosceles triangle, and B will be right angle triangle, and C equilateral triangle, and D none of these. Just try to find the answer. Okay. So if it is done, just try to pause the answer. Okay, otherwise I'll explain. Next we'll move on. Right. So we have next one is scalar triple product. Okay. Next one is scalar triple product, or this is also can be said as box product. Okay. So if triple product means it will consist of three vectors, A comma B and C, three vectors. So if you have three vectors, so right now we have discussed dot and cross product with the two vectors. Now we are discussing about three vectors products. Okay, so that will be scalar triple product as well as vector triple product. Okay, so I'll just mention all those things. Scalar triple product is simply A dot B cross C. This is also said to be the volume of the parallelepiped which we can construct. And if you're finding three vectors, so there should be always volume. Okay, so if you have two vectors, there should be area, and if you have three vectors, there should be volume. Okay, so this also can be written as a determinant of ax, ay, az, bx, by, bz, cx, cy, and cz. Right. Okay, so this also can be represented like this: box product A, B, C dot comma. Okay, so how will you do this thing? This is general idea, and we have some more points regarding this box product. So these box product are cyclic. So this is a cyclic product. So we can write it like this: A, if it is A dot B cross C, then it will be equal to, this is cyclic in order. So if you change A to B, then you must change B to C and C to A. Then this will be B dot C cross A, and that will be equal to C dot A cross B. So this is cyclic. So box product is, or scalar triple product is cyclic in nature, right? Okay, so okay, now if for example it is the volume, it is said to be the volume of the parallelepiped with the sides A, B, and C. Now from this we'll get the next idea, that is coplanar vectors. This is a very important idea. Coplanar vectors. Okay, so what are coplanar vectors? So if you have three vectors which is said to be coplanar, for example, if you have A, B, and C, if it is coplanar, then it means that the box product will be 0. Box product A, B, C will be 0. Or we can say that A dot B cross C is equal to 0. So this is the idea of coplanar vectors. Right. Now, now let's solve one question regarding that. So find the value. So this is a general question. I think I have find it out from, yeah. Any doubt?
So-
Tell me.
So,
Tell me.
so coplanar means they all lie on the same plane, right?
Yes. Good. Good. Yes.
Okay, sir.
That three vectors will lie in the same plane. Then that is said to be coplanar. That is the idea of coplanar. Okay. Coplanarity. Okay. Right.
Okay, sir.
Because collinear means the two vectors will lie in the as parallel to each other. Okay, just like that, if three vectors lie in the same plane, it is said to be coplanar. Okay, now let's move on to the question. Find the value of m for which, find the value of m for which three vectors, we can say that A is equal to, let's say, I minus j minus 2k, B vector is equal to 3i plus 5j plus 6k, and C vector that is equal to minus I plus 4j plus mk are, or will be coplanar. Just I'm writing this question in the sense that you will get some ideas how to do the calculations and all. Just simple calculations. If you got the idea, the general idea, just like that, if you know how to do the cross product, box product, dot product, etc., then it's just a matter of seconds. You can do the problems right away. So here the general idea is that if three vectors are coplanar, what will be the idea? Okay, so what will be the basic idea you need to know? These are the only things that you need to know from this problem. Other rest and all, it is very simple. If you have three vectors, just do A dot B cross C and just put it to 0. Then you'll get the equation. Okay, so right, just try to do. I'll give idea about problems of how to do. Just you try with your own your own way. Okay, so I hope from next class onwards, just so if you are doing one problem, just I need some answers from your side also. Along with me, you can also do the problem. Okay, then that will be very easier for me to explain. Okay, I'll give the idea about how to do a problem, then you can proceed from there itself. So this idea, just coplanarity, A dot B cross C is of 0. So this idea is the main idea. So A dot B cross C is equal to 0. Now we need to find B cross C. So you need to understand how to do B cross C. You need to understand how to do A dot B cross C. So we have the same rule, determinant of ax, ay, az, bx, by, bz, and cx, cy, cz. We need to do the determinant result. That's it. So how to do the determinant, that is your understanding. I think you know how to do determinant. Okay, -1, -2. We have 3, 5, 6, -1, 4, m. Just make the equation. I hope you know how to do the determinant. Anybody know? Anybody don't know how to do determinant? Then I'll explain.
Sir, please explain, sir.
Okay, so there is general method also, there is trick also. So I'll discuss that trick when we do matrix linear algebra. So from here, this is you can do it by general procedure. So we have first one, we take this quantity and we'll mask this 2 rows and columns. Then it will be 1 into this, 1 into this into this. Sorry, this into this minus this into this. Okay, then it will be 5m minus 24 minus minus of minus 1, and that will be plus 1 into this mask this thing 3m minus minus 6, that is 3m plus 6, right, plus minus 2 into, then what, minus 2 into 12 minus minus 5, that is 12 plus 5, and that is what we have, 5m minus 24 plus 3m plus 6 minus 24 minus 10 is equal to 0. Right. Yeah. Anybody got the answer? It is minus 2. Minus 2 it is coming. It can come minus 2, I think. It will be a fraction, right?
13 by 2.
Which one? 13 by
2.
13 by 2 is the right answer. Okay, 13 by 2 is the right answer. Right. We have we have 8m. Yeah, this will be plus 8m minus that is 52. Minus 24 minus 24, yeah, minus 52 is equal to 0. And we have m is equal to 52 by 8. That is 13 by 2, right? Yeah. Yeah, 6.5. Yes. Got the answer?
Okay, sir. Okay.
Right.
18 minus 64.
8m minus 64. How? Minus 20 minus 48 minus 58 plus 6. That is minus 52. This is plus 6. Right.
Okay, sir.
Okay. Now, I'll just now it is time, right? I think I'll explain vector triple product later. There is vector triple product also. Then I'll move on to the vector differentiation as well as vector integration. I hope everything is clear right now. So if there is any doubt, you can ask. And if there is any doubt regarding the session, other than, yeah, please ask the doubt.
Sir.
Yeah, tell me.
So we have taken the vectors to be originated from the same point. What if the vectors are not from the same point? They are separate vectors. Like,
yeah. If it is separate vectors, how will you do that? That thing you are saying.
About any operation, how can we do it?
Any operation, if you have separate vectors, if you have separate arbitrary direction aligned vectors, you just make sure that you need to take that vector. So you need to do some operation so that the vectors comes to the same point originated. So if you have, if you can do like this, say for example, if you have two vectors like this. So if you have two vectors like this, one is like this and one is somewhere like this. Okay. Just any vector, if you can resolve this vector into two you can resolve with vectors into three components, whether it is a three-dimensional plane space, or if you have a two-dimensional plane, you can resolve it into two components, any vector along any arbitrary direction. So that will make the vector aligned to one of the axes. So this is the idea. Okay. So if you have an arbitrary vector pointing in any direction, you can say any direction. Just make sure that if you have, if you can resolve this vector into two components, that is a power of resolution of vector. So in any direction, any arbitrary direction that vector points, no matter what direction it points, if you can resolve into two directions, then it comes to align with some of the coordinate systems. Okay, so that is the point. So if you have any arbitrary vector, any direction arbitrary vector, you can resolve it into components of two different coordinate systems, so that we can align. Okay, so that's why we are actually resolving that vector. So that is the importance of resolving. So you can you might have studied about force in physics. Okay, so in Newtonian mechanics, if you can, the entire Newtonian mechanics lies upon resolving of force. Okay, resolving of or finding the components of force. So that's why it is very important to study vector calculus before studying Newtonian mechanics. Okay, in Newtonian mechanics, if you have an arbitrary force direction, say 10 Newton force is aligned to some arbitrary direction, what you do? You resolve this force into two components, along x-axis, along y-axis. Okay, or in space, if you in space, you can say that if there is a force existing in space, you can resolve it into three components: fx, fy, as fz, just like that. Okay, so that's how you resolve. So is it clear? So if a vector is there in any arbitrary direction, you can resolve it into components of coordinate system. So that's why you use coordinate system also. That is the importance of coordinate system. Okay, that is a reference. So if any reference is there, it will be easy to calculate, right? So that is the importance of coordinate system. I hope it is clear to you.
Sir, even if we resolve, how can we perform the operations?
Why, if you resolve it into some of the coordinate system, to align some of the coordinate system, you will get the Cartesian coordinate system, as well as if there is any other coordinate system that we have, whether it is spherical, plane, polar, or whatever it is, that is for our convenience. We are using that coordinate system, right? So if there is any arbitrary vector, if you are resolving it into the component, resolving components means what? Resolving components means you are, for our convenience, we are actually making that vector dependent upon any some other form. Okay, just like that. So if it is say if it is a vector, you don't know the components of that vector. So if you resolve it into x-axis as well as y-axis, you'll get the component of that vector. That is the importance. So you'll get ax, will get ay, right? So if you are having an arbitrary vector, you are actually getting the component of, if you are actually getting the relation connecting ax and ay, you are getting the components of that arbitrary vector that we have. So that is the power of resolving. Okay, that is how you resolve. So if you get the components, then it is easy to calculate. That's it. Right.
Okay, sir.
Now, any other doubt? So if you have any other doubt regarding what I have planned to take some more but the time didn't. So just do the problems which I have mentioned here. There will be some more problems. I'll try to do it in the next class, because there will be almost 10 to 15 questions which we can easily do when you're doing. So since this is the first class, that's okay, no problem. We'll try to do more and more problems in the next class onwards. These are very important ideas that I have said, because based upon these ideas only, we'll get problems. Other than that, there is no, because this coplanarity, collinearity, solenoid, next, if you're doing about cross product and all, so if you're there is solenoidal, irrotational. In physics there are so many things, okay, related things. So based upon that only you'll get problems regarding that. So if you have any doubt regarding this session, I hope there is no doubt, because these are basic ideas only. So in the coming sessions, if you have any doubts, just feel free to contact me. So my WhatsApp number, I'll give you my WhatsApp number. This is so this is my WhatsApp number. So if you have any doubt regarding a specific, be specific about what you have, okay, what you need. Okay, just make sure the doubt is specific, and if you have any specific problems which you find along the session which I took, some other problems that you have, not apart from this session, no, you try to do. If you find some problem difficult, just take the shot or take the photograph of or whatever it is. Just write the question itself, nothing, no matter, and just send it to me. Okay, through WhatsApp. I'll try to do that problem. Okay, so be specific about what doubt you have. So what our topic, and also if some, because there are so many students here, so if some of you don't understand some basic concept, and that's why I have took the general ideas. So some of you didn't understand some of the basic concept, you can contact me, and so be specific about what you need to know. Okay, then try to contact me. Otherwise, if you have so many questions that in your hand, if you're trying to do it and you cannot do, then send it to me. I'll give you my mail ID also. So I'll give you my mail ID. This is Abel Suraj, SURAJ, @gmail.com. So if you have any set of questions, just mail me, or you can contact me through WhatsApp. Right. So apart from that, if there is any doubt, I can just you can ask if there is a doubt apart from this session. If there is any doubt. Right.
Sir.
Yes.
Hello, sir.
Yes.
Sir.
Hello. Tell me.
That ICAP all square. Can you,
No, I didn't get you. Can you repeat it once more?
Yeah.
Hello.
The question we discussed earlier, X
Yeah.
cross ICAP all square. Can you give a small clue to answer that question?
This one. Yeah. This one, right? A cross I cap. Yeah. So yes, this A cross I cap is what? A cross I cap means if you are so if you have this vector, so I have given this vector to you, right? So if you are making a cross product with I cap, what happens? This I cap cross I cap will not remain.
Yes.
Then J cap cross I cap will be there, and K cap cross I cap will be there. So based upon this, you can do this. What is J cap cross I cap? From this we can do J cap cross I cap will be minus K cap, right?
Okay.
So we'll get the component like that. I think to all together it will give you some very small result. I think just do the problem. Okay, just try to
Okay,
do
sir.
it. This is the
Okay,
basic.
thank you.
So this also you know about isosceles triangle, right angle triangle, equilateral triangle. So what will be the side right angle triangle? What will be that angle will be, one of the angle will be 90 degree. So just make sure the idea like this. If it is right angle triangle, so make sure if you find some angle, it is easy. So if you're taking two vectors, to find the angle between these two vectors, it is very easy, right? It will be cos theta. So This right angle triangle, if you find the angle, the one of the angle will be 90 degree, should be 90 degree. So then you can say that it is right angle triangle. For isosceles triangle and equilateral triangle, if you are finding the length for equilateral triangle, so there is some definition about this isosceles triangle. What is the angle between in an isosceles triangle? Equilateral triangle, what will be the angle or what will be the length? So this idea, if you know, then you can directly do this problem. Okay, just try to do it. Right. This I think this you can take it as a homework. You can try to do it. Otherwise, I'll explain in the next class if you want. Okay. So I hope there is no doubt regarding that. So right. Anyone? Any doubt?
സർ മാത്തമാറ്റിക്കൽ മെത്തേഡ്സ് എങ്ങനെയാ സർ ഡിവൈഡ് ചെയ്ത് വെച്ചേക്കുന്നത്? ലൈക്ക് എത്ര ദിവസം കൊണ്ട് കംപ്ലീറ്റ് ചെയ്യാൻ
മാത്തമാറ്റിക്കൽ മെത്തേഡ് എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞാൽ നമുക്കൊരു ഷെഡ്യൂൾ ചെയ്തിരിക്കുന്നത് നമുക്കൊരു 8 അവർ ക്ലാസ്സിലാണ് ഷെഡ്യൂൾ ചെയ്തിരിക്കുന്നത്. 8 അവറും അത് കൂടിപ്പോയാൽ ഒരു 9 അവർ വരെ പോകും. കാരണം വെച്ചാൽ അതിൽ ചെയ്യുന്ന ബേസിക് ആയിട്ടുള്ള കാര്യങ്ങൾ നമ്മൾ വെക്ടർ കാൽക്കുലസ് നിന്ന് പിന്നെ നമ്മൾ ഡിഫറൻഷ്യൽ കാൽക്കുലസിലേക്കും ഇന്റഗ്രൽ കാൽക്കുലേഷനിലേക്കും പോകും. വെക്ടർ കാൽക്കുലസിൽ തന്നെ ലാസ്റ്റിൽ നമ്മൾ ഗ്രീൻസ് തിയറം വരെ പറഞ്ഞു നിർത്തും. അതായത് വെക്ടർ ഡിഫറൻസിയേഷൻ ആൻഡ് വെക്ടർ ഇന്റഗ്രേഷൻ. ഓക്കെ, അപ്പം അതിനുശേഷം നമ്മൾ എന്ത് ചെയ്യുന്ന വെച്ചാൽ നോർമൽ കാൽക്കുലസിലേക്ക് പോകും. അതിൽ ലിമിറ്റ്സ് ആൻഡ് കണ്ടിന്യൂറ്റി വരുന്നുണ്ട്, പിന്നെ ഇന്റഗ്രേഷനും ഡിഫറൻസിയേഷനും വരുന്നുണ്ട്. പിന്നെ ജനറലി നമ്മൾ അത് കൂടുതലും നമ്മൾ സ്പെസിഫൈ ചെയ്യുന്നില്ല. നമ്മൾ എന്ത് ചെയ്യുന്ന വെച്ചാൽ പാർഷ്യൽ ഡിഫറൻസിയേഷനും പാർഷ്യൽ ആ ഭാഗങ്ങളിലേക്ക് കുറച്ച് പോകും. അത് കുറച്ച് ലെങ്തി ആയിട്ടുള്ള സാധനമാണ്. ഞാൻ കാൽക്കുലസ് കംപ്ലീറ്റ് ചെയ്യുകയാണെങ്കിൽ കുറച്ച് ബുദ്ധിമുട്ടാണ്. അപ്പോൾ അത് നമ്മൾ സെലക്ട് ചെയ്ത സാധനങ്ങൾ മാത്രം ചെയ്യും. അതിനുശേഷം നമ്മൾ കോംപ്ലക്സ് അനാലിസിസിലേക്ക് പോകും. ഇത്രയും സാധനങ്ങളാണ് നമ്മളെ ഈ പാക്കേജിലുള്ളത്. ഓക്കെ, ഇത് നമ്മൾ തെർമോഡൈനാമിക്സ്. നെക്സ്റ്റ്.
ഓക്കെ സർ.
Okay, thank you all. So let's wind up the session. So you can contact me if you have any doubt regarding that, regarding any of the problems that you find difficult, because you must do problems. Then only you will get to know about problems. Okay, just try to do problems more and more. We'll give you question papers as well as question sheets also. Just try to do the problems. Then if you practice, and then you will get better results. So thank you.